Rep the South Side whenever you pay with your White Sox debit card from Wintrust Community Banks and score perks like free ATMs, no monthly fees, and a $300 opening bonus. Pay with pride every time with Wintrust, Chicago's bank.
Hey everybody, it's 𝗪𝗏. Welcome to the White Sox Podcast. It is brought to you by Wintrust, Chicago's bank. Show your team pride with a White Sox debit card. Get yours at wintrust.com/Sox, member 𝗪𝗏 lender. All right, on the podcast today, we have White Sox catcher Korey Lee to talk about this White Sox pitching staff that has gotten off to a great start, especially the starting staff. Sean Burke, Korey Lee caught him on opening day. Shane Smith, the story that he is, this Rule 5 pick who made it out of spring training, made his first start for the White Sox this week. Talk about the new hitting stance Korey has, and this thing about torpedo bats. That and a whole lot more. We got Korey Lee on the podcast. Let's do it. All right, here with Korey Lee. I'm going to start with some things that people may not know about you. Okay, so number one, you were a great water polo player when you were growing up. You guys won a championship in high school? You need to use the microphone.
Yep, we're actually, it was a West Coast thing, and I got brought up with it in middle school. I had a buddy that played, and he took me out to practice one day, and I had no idea what I was doing. But then I stuck with it. It was either football or water polo at that point, and I was doing both, and then I decided it was probably a little bit better to stay in the pool rather than bang some heads on the football field, and stuck with it through high school, and unfortunately I had to quit senior year, but I enjoyed every minute of it from middle school to high school, and still go swim to this day in the off season, and that's kind of how I stay in shape in the off season.
Not playing water polo, but maybe
no, just swimming. I don't know if I can play a game right now or anything. Those guys are in a different world, but much respect to all those players.
All right, here's one more. Actually, I think I have two more. You went to Cal. Yeah. Your teammate was Andrew Vaughn. Is it true that scouts would come to watch Andrew Vaughn, and then they'd see this other guy named Korey Lee, and they'd be like, "Oh, we didn't know anything about Korey Lee. Let's dive into this."
Yeah, it was interesting. From the day he stepped on the campus, everyone and their mother knew that he was going to be a special player. So everyone looked up to him. We all looked up to him, wanted to be like him, and I saw him freshman, sophomore year doing what he did, Golden Spikes, freshman of the year, and then obviously junior year. I got a little bit more time playing, and all 30 teams were there to watch Vaughn, and that was the time to kind of put a show on and show them what I can do, and I kind of took it to my advantage and had a really, really good year. And it was also nice to have him hit in front of me and all the eyes on him, and then next thing you know, they weren't pitching to him and got to pitch to me, and capitalized on some situations there, and now we're here today, and I'm fortunate to be his teammate again.
Wait, did you say unfortunate?
No, fortunate. Very, very fortunate, Vaughn.
I was going to say, Andrew Vaughn has had a lot to do with your career. He's benefited your career in many ways.
Yep. He, like I said, I've been able to talk to him. He's a very, very approachable guy. He knows me. I know him. I know his wife. I know his family. I know everything about the kid, and he's unbelievable. You see what you get. He's going to be there every day for you, and that's someone I can count on as my teammate. All
right, and one more thing about you, and then we're going to talk about just the team and everything. So you're from San Diego. Yep. I found out yesterday that you are Chicago tough. You want to know why I found out? Because it was freezing. I was freezing outside, and you were wearing a tank top out here. How did you do that?
That's the daily attire that I wear inside, and I had to get some sprints in, so I decided to come out here with the tank top and test the cold. And you see all the football players doing it. They come out in the cold and the shirtless weather or whatever they do, and it was just having fun. And obviously it's a little bit cold, but now we got a beanie on today.
Yeah, I know. What happened to the Chicago tough guy?
Yeah, no,
He's gone.
We're playing tonight. It's a night game. So.
Okay. All right, so I see you at spring training, and I'm looking at your stance, I'm looking at your swing, and I noticed something different. Yeah. So we did talk about it, back in spring training, but we got a camera on you now. So can you explain what you did? Because you seem to be clearly a better hitter because of these changes that you made.
Yeah, just trying to simplify this game. There's a lot of moving parts to it. The ball's coming in fast. They throw different stuff. there's a whole lot of things that go into batting, and I think I just try to simplify everything, get into the right position. Like you said, we work out all the time, we swing in the cage all the time, so just trying to make things not as complicated for me. It simplified my chase, it upped my contact, I still hit the ball hard. Just puts us in a good position to win the game, and there's a lot of team ABs that come from it. Seeing some pitches, getting that next guy up in the order, I think it does a whole lot. And then just getting down with a fight, man. It's not caving in, not making that pitcher better than what he is, and just knowing that I'm going to go up there and put up a good AB.
So can you explain what you're doing and how it affects what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm basically just staying put. I'm keeping in my base. I'm lifting my left foot up a little bit, and the next thing you know, that's just my trigger. That's the go, and I don't have to have any moving parts. My head doesn't move. I can see the ball. I know where the strike zone is now. Obviously, there's going to be some chase in your game no matter what. Just you got to stay aggressive. But I think it's given me a better opportunity to see the ball and to do some damage on pitches that I should be.
All right, so 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 comes in here. He was the run prevention coordinator with the Brewers, helped out 𝗻𝗻 𝗠𝗏 and other catchers. I'm not sure I know what his role is here, but has he and just this coaching staff helped you with your catching this year?
Absolutely. I think we just prioritized it in spring. I think we had a really, really good catching core in spring, going from the players, going from the staff, going from front office stuff, and just reading into the position a little bit more than we did in years before, and hammered out the receiving, hammered out the throwing. It's something that I do really, really well, and I'll continue to do that, but just trying to find those tools that I can continue to get better at, and I think we hammered out the receiving really, really well, and we're just going to continue to do that this season.
What's it been like having Will Venable as your manager? What has he brought to the team, added to you guys?
He's brought in clear communication. He's brought in the freeness just to go play. He's brought in a good aura to him, a good vibe in the clubhouse. We're ready to play for him every day, and when we're in the game, we know that he's locked in. We know that he's ready. And when you see your manager doing that, we're going to be ready also. So it's something that I'm ready to go and fight for every day, and we know that he's going to be ready to fight for us.
It's nice. All right, so we're 4 games in as we tape this. People will be watching this or hearing this after the 4th game, but so far, starting pitchers have not given up an earned run. What do you think is the reason for this, or reasons?
I think in spring we kind of hammered it really, really early on what we were going to press to our pitchers, what we were going to come in with in the season. And I think they took it full-heartedly and executed the plan during the spring. I think it started early February, almost in January probably, when the pitching coaches were getting with our pitchers and talking about what they were doing really, really well in the season, what they weren't doing well, what they got to work on. And our pitchers have been great. Communication's been great with analytical staff, with us. Game planning's been fantastic, and not a lot to complain about on my end. And obviously, we got people in our bullpen that's been hammering it down also, and we got 𝗻𝗁 that threw a great game yesterday, and he's kind of that old leadership in our staff, and it's really, really fortunate to see what he's done with our young pitchers, and we're a really, really good pitching and catching core right now.
Yes, I learned something new yesterday. So obviously, it's windy here in Chicago. It's windy certainly in March and April, and I know that wind can affect how balls are hit here. But I was talking to Jonathan Cannon and Sean Burke, and they were saying how wind affects pitches here, and I had never heard that. Can you explain, as a catcher, how that affects what you want to call and what the game plan could be because of the wind?
Yeah, we got a little wind coming from like third base to first base here, so the wind tunnels kind of catch it, and then obviously the righties that throw sliders that are going towards that first base side, they're going to take off a little bit more. The guys that have the 2-seam, it's going to just kind of dive just because of gravity, and it's trying to push against that wind. So just trying to know where you're at, knowing the stadium, knowing how it plays comes a big part in the big leagues. You're playing in different stadiums, you're playing in different weather every day, and you just got to figure out what's going to work on that day. And it might be a pitch, it might be the wind, might execute this pitch a little bit better than the other one, and you're going to communicate that early in the game with your pitcher, and you're going to hammer with what's working that day. And obviously, you're not going to shy away from his strengths, but sometimes you're going to get a little fork in the road, and you got to go a different way just because of the weather.
When did you learn this about this stadium in particular?
I learned it last year early with Cannon. We had a series, or with 𝗻𝗁𝗍𝗓. We had a series here, and his slider was taken off more than I've ever seen, and we talked about it, and we clarified that it was the wind that was taking it off, and continue to hammer it. And it's really, really impressive by the pitching staff to know how much more this ball is going to move and where you got to locate it. So I think it's more on their part that they know exactly where this ball is going, and I'm back there to kind of just be a reference for them and obviously stop the ball and make the ball strikes and keep the strikes.
Is it even food? If it isn't fried, 𝗏𝗪ce's. Open 24 hours, east of Pilsen. Good fried fish isn't just for Good Friday. 𝗏𝗪ce's, the food you crave.
Okay, so you caught Sean Burke on opening day. He had a great outing.
Yep.
Take us inside that game, what he was doing and why he was so effective.
He was minimum his pitches that he was throwing in inning to inning. He was executing his off speed. He was lighting up the gun with his fastball. He was juiced. So we used that fastball a little bit more just because of the adrenaline that was happening. Got himself into some tough situations, but that's pitching, man. I think he did a really, really good job of just getting double plays, simplifying the innings, not letting the situation get too big. And that's what we were talking about in between innings. I made a mound visit out there, and I said, dude, just trust your stuff, man. Like it's elite stuff. You just got to throw quality pitches, and when he does that, you saw it, and he'll put us in a good position to win the game.
Okay, so tonight, Shane Smith
Yep.
makes his major league debut,
Oh, yeah.
and he, has come out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was amazing in spring. So, why is he the pitcher that he is, and what can he be in the majors?
He could be anything he wants to be, man. I've seen him from the get-go, and his spring was really, really interesting. The first outing wasn't the best, and he sat down, didn't really worry about it. The next outing, he came out and shoved it up to the Dodgers, man. It was an elite lineup, and we kind of saw what his potential could be. And after seeing that, we all kind of took a step back, realized what we had, and really, really fine-tuned his stuff and communicated a lot with him on why he is so good. So I'm excited to see what he has tonight, man. It's an electric fastball. He's not going to cave in. He's a competitor. He's a workhorse. You'll see him out there. He moves really, really quick. Everything's on his time. And like I said, it's a really, really big moment for him tonight, and I'm excited to share that with him.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff. The other thing that I noticed with him is just his demeanor.
Oh yeah,
like he's unfazed.
Yeah,
by this, right?
He's a workahorse, man. That's what
Yeah.
I want out of all my pitchers is someone that's not going to want to give that ball up, and he's one of those guys where he's gonna want to go 9, and you're gonna have to rip that ball from him. So like I said, I'm excited to work with him tonight and see where this career goes.
All right, so the big talk in baseball is torpedo bats. Our torpedo bats. Do you have one? Are you ordering one?
I don't. I've seen them. I'm doing a little bit of research on them. I'm a fan. I kind of put it this way that golfers have different clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Hitters have different size bats. Fielders have different size gloves. Pitchers throw different. Catchers catch different. And it's just part of the game. You got to evolve with the game and kind of give what's given to you or take what's given to you. And I think it's good for baseball, man. Everyone's learning what's gonna make them better, and that's what I think about the game. And we're just trying to elevate this game to just be the best player that you can be.
All right, so very early in the season, you can't define anything yet, but through 4 games as we sit here, you guys just seem to be a better team. You guys seem to find different ways, many ways to win. You had 2 blowouts, and the other 2 games you just lost by 1 run. You could have won it.
Yep.
So what's going on with this squad you have right now?
We're just not giving in, man. You said that it's early. You're going to still see this in late July, September. You're going to see all of this, man. You're going to just see it through 162. That's kind of the mindset. Is yeah, it's early in the game, or early in the season, but we're still going to give this effort when it comes late July, midsummer. It gets hot. You're still going to see us giving all the effort that we can, going out here to win every single game and not taking our foot off the gas, man. That's kind of what we've learned last year, and we're taking it into this year, and we're not gonna give up in any game. Know that our pitchers are going to get us out of situations, and know that our hitters are going to put us in a position to win.
Yeah, a couple more things. One of my favorite moments of the season was you give up 2 runs, first inning to the Angels, and then right back.
Yep.
You guys come right back and score 2 runs in the bottom of the first. We didn't see a lot of that last year, and I get the feeling that when that happened in this dugout, you guys were just fired up, like, hey, this is who we are this year.
Yeah, you saw yesterday also. We retaliated with 2 more runs after they scored 2. We evened up that game, and I think that goes a long way, man. I think just not giving up any ABs, continuing to fight and just continuing to put runners on. When runners get on, good situations happen. You got people like Louie, you got people like Benny, you got Vaughn up in the top of the order that do their damage and cash in those runs. So our job at the bottom of the lineup is to get those guys up, and hopefully we can have a big inning.
Now, you mentioned Martin Perez. I mean, he said to me back in spring training, we're going to surprise people. Why can't we contend?
Yep.
And everyone was like, what are you talking about? Well,
yep.
You guys were going to show it.
Yeah, he's kind of set that bar high for us early in spring. He was very vocal in a great way for us, just showing us what we can do, and just reciprocating that confidence in us. And I think that goes a long way. Confidence in this game will take you places that you don't even know where you've been. And I think that's kind of the moral of the story with this team is we don't know how far we can go, but we're gonna give it a shot and not give up.
Love it. Korey Lee,
Yep.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right. Korey Lee on the White Sox Podcast. 𝗁𝗏 𝗪𝗀, take it away.
All right, Chuck, this edition of the White Sox Podcast is over.